Analysts at the U.S. investment bank Goldman Sachs explained that while Saudi Arabia cannot export its crude oil through its ports on the Gulf, it has succeeded in exporting large quantities through the port of Yanbu on the Red Sea, benefiting at the same time from the rise in global crude prices. Goldman Sachs estimates that Saudi Arabia's weekly oil export revenues have risen by 10% in recent weeks compared to levels prior to the outbreak of the U.S.-Israeli war against Iran on February 28, which led to Tehran closing the Strait of Hormuz. In contrast, a report by Goldman Sachs analysts indicates that the UAE's oil revenues were severely affected by the closure of the strait, and its oil exports declined significantly. Bloomberg noted that this divergence in the stance of Saudi and Emirati oil exports could exacerbate the rivalry between the two largest economies in the Middle East, which was at the heart of the United Arab Emirates' surprise decision to withdraw from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, earlier this week. Since the start of the war on February 28, Riyadh has diverted about 4 million barrels of oil per day to its east-west pipeline, which connects the fields to the port of Yanbu on the Red Sea, while the UAE has increased the quantities it exports via the pipeline that passes through its territory and bypasses the strait, with its exports reaching about 2 million barrels per day during last March, which is less than two-thirds of its exports before the war. Meanwhile, Oman, whose main oil ports are outside the strait, has not had to reduce its exports and has seen its revenues rise by 80% since the outbreak of the war, according to Goldman Sachs estimates. Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Iraq were the most affected by the closure of the strait, as they have few means of delivering their produce to world markets away from the Strait of Hormuz.